part of it's gonna be, they're always gonna be searching for, you know, for who's speaking or whatever, or something. To me, that starts getting dizzy. So, yeah, I'm good with just doing the, and plus, we don't video down here. So I don't want to make changes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No, the fewer changes we can make, the better.
I move to approve the agenda.
I will second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion passes 2-0. Oh. So. He's gonna bring that up. Okay, I'm ready.
Yep. Monday, February 9, 20. There.
Say that was the future.
Yeah. Okay.
Bending it already. Go for it.
Kerry Phillips, South Road foreman, met with the board to discuss moving the buildings from the fairgrounds. Roger Shera, Circle Fire Chief, met with the board to discuss fire department issues. At the hour of 10 a.m., the Board of Commissioners of Macomb County, Montana, met in regular session with Ty Taylor, Lonnie Jensen, and Alan Stempel present. Presiding officer Alan Stempel called the meeting to order. The Pledge of Allegiance was recited. Commissioner Taylor moved to approve the agenda. Commissioner Jensen seconded the motion, and the motion passed 3-0. Gina Masser, Greg Nagel, and Frank Wright met with the board to discuss the Mount Antelope Type 1 zoning project. The public meeting will be held at 2 p.m. on February 23rd, 2026 in the courtroom of the courthouse. Current documents were sent to the county website for posting. The board had a conference call with Jackie Gardner, MCHC CEO, Chandler Rowling, State of Montana, Tori Matajewski, GNDC, Christine Weeder Consulting, and Frank Wright, President of the Macomb County Health Center Board, to discuss final payments for the Macomb County Health Center improvement projects. February 2nd, 2026 minutes were approved as amended. Mr. Stempel reported on the weather station meeting he attended in Circle on February 6, 2026. The board reviewed a resolution increasing the stockyards usage fee to $1.50 for cattle or horses and 75 cents for sheep. Second reading will be held on February 23rd, 2026. The board reviewed and updated the potential resolutions for Type 1 zoning. Alan Roseanne met with the board to discuss county issues. The board attended the LEPC meeting at noon. The meeting was open to public participation at 1 p.m. Morgan Mason, Apex Construction, met with the board to discuss needed improvements to the senior center roof. Representative Jerry Schillinger met with the board to discuss county issues. Kerry Phillips, South Road foreman, and Doug Shenham Construction, met with the board to discuss site preparation and temporary storage of the buildings from the fairgrounds that must be removed to build the new building. The board approved the temporary storage of the buildings near the South Road shop. Commissioner Taylor moved to approve the CDBG grant draw number 8 for Macomb County Health Center Improvement Project. Commissioner Jensen seconded the motion. The motion passed 3-0. Ross Fian, NextEra Energy, met with the board by phone to discuss Type 1 zoning and the upcoming meeting on February 23rd, 2026. Correspondence occupied the board for the rest of the day. Meeting adjourned at 5 p.m. I move to accept the amended minutes.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passed. Yeah, not a good thing when you start out in 2029. That ain't gonna hurt. I'll have to send that later because I can't print. So. All right. So. The only one is the Mako conference. I'd like to table this until it ties here.
Yeah.
Cause well, and actually I want to table it till next week. Cause then I can bring my book in, cause I take my notes in the book. So we just do that. The second reading to increase the stockyard. Should we table this till it ties back? So
Yeah.
you know,
So I grabbed this the other day when I was going by it I didn't think of it the other day, but we've been charging. If you just, previously it was $1 if you use the scale and the yards, if you use so I don't know if we need to make more changes or.
okay, so let's table it and we can just. Yeah, because I think we can still raise the scale fee. And then the yard fee. We'll decide what we want to do with it and then maybe we'll just do the second reading next week. That's no problem.
I did see Rosebud County recently passed a resolution, a new one on theirs, and they charge out of county $2 a head for cattle and in county $1.
Oh,
But I think it's just easier to have one price.
yeah. That's interesting though. Did you swing by there or did you see it written someplace?
I seen it on I don't know if it was Facebook.
Oh,
somewhere.
okay. Oh, okay.
I think I got a picture of it.
Oh, that's fine. I was just curious if that was, because I'm like, wow, I'm dedicated, but I'm not going to somebody else's stockyard to look at prices.
No.
So. And I get it, you're in the area, but still.
Yeah. I think I saw it from my easy chair or something.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so the fairground buildings, obviously I'm not sure the site is completely clear. But that's not gonna hold anything up because Doug can finish that in the afternoon if needed. But has the fairgrounds or has the fair board said anything? Like what their thought is?
We had an email from Tandy, and Wayne Sowers responded to it basically saying that the estimates were considerable more than they had foreseen. The other issue we brought up was the concrete pad that the fair kitchen was on. They thought that was not going to be replaced, but they also stated that come on in, Roger. We're recording. We're in the middle of our meeting, but we always
have his hat on. So
yeah, we always have time for you.
Question. Fire department stuff. We're looking at replacing some SCBA's. We haven't had much luck. I haven't got hold of Christine for a while, but we haven't had much luck getting grants. So we were looking at 12 of them. We're gonna try to do 6 of them for right now. But what I'd like to do is use the equipment line item out of the budget to buy the extra tanks, extra batteries or rechargeable battery in the packs, and possibly some of the mass. Basically the extra equipment to go with it. We are going to, actually Thomas is working on that through CHS to buy some of the mass. They will possibly up to 5,000. The mass are like 475.
Okay.
Basically, we're going from a Volkswagen Rabbit to a Mercedes.
Yeah, but how old are the systems you got?
25 years. We bought
Okay.
them in 2000. Technically, we were supposed to replace them 5 years ago. But we have replaced bottles.
Okay.
Our biggest deal is this last road structure fire. We found out that the rubber in our mass face pieces are going to heck. And they're not safe.
Yeah,
And we've got some regulators. I mean, it's time.
yeah,
The new ones, like I say, they're awful nice. Our old ones, we had radio interface with them. They quit a long time ago. So really you have no communication. These have a voice amplifier. They basically have a speaker right here.
Okay.
You can talk like this and it's actually louder. So all you gotta do is key your radio and you're on the radio. And you can hear pretty much everything that's going on. The mask, there's no electronics in them. It's an exterior regulator that snaps on. And there is a heads-up display on your tank and a couple other items on it. But it's all fiber optics, so once it plugs in, it just shoots a light up through the regulator.
so do you have a rough idea on what 6 are gonna cost?
The whole price is right at 65,000. Oh, 60. They're right at 10,000 a piece. We made some changes on it, so he's repriced and stuff. The pack itself is, I want to say, we'll see what the price comes to with our changes. But they were like a little over 7,000, I believe, per basic pack.
Yeah.
But what we were looking at is using our donation funds, about 40,000 of that. If we can use about 30,000 out of our budget. Depending on what CHS does and what he can do, because they also have an upgrade that you can put a thermal camera on each one. So basically you've got a little screen where your air gauge and stuff is. There has a thermal camera, so you can check it out. That's a $1,900 option. But the tanks are, we went with a 45-minute tank, so we got 30-minute now. They're bigger, they were $100 more than the 30-minute. So we're looking at right at $1,400 a tank. But he said MSA a lot of times will do a 2-for-1, give you your second tank. So we get 2 tanks for each pack.
Yeah.
So we may be able to cut that in half with the incentive that we put the thermals on each one.
Sure.
It's going to be about a toss-up if we put the thermals on them and they give us the extra tank.
So you're looking to pull 30 to 40,000 out of the budget. The problem is that nobody's here. Candace is here, but
Right.
so we'll put it to Sherry and see if she's okay with pulling 30 to 40 grand.
It would basically be our equipment line item. We're right at 60,000 unspent in the budget right now. And I'm not gonna, I mean, we still got a lot of season left.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna take any more, but the last couple of years, I mean, we bought a lot of hose, hand tools. We're sitting good. DNRC is supposed to give us, all I gotta do is get to Miles City. They're gonna give us a bunch of shirt and pants,
Oh, nice.
a couple cases of MREs. They've got a bunch of new old stock. It's the old style pants, but they're all new. Their guys don't like them because they're green and they like the gray ones. So he says we have boxes of it.
Okay.
I just have to get him sizes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it depends. We've got the money in our donation funds. The cash is there, but I would rather use this instead of just trying to buy
Oh, yeah.
stuff that we really don't need later on.
Yeah. No,
And what we're looking at is 12 masks. So basically, the guys that actually will be wearing them the most have their own masks.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
For-
oh, yeah,
For the 450 or 475, and we can always, as we go along, we can purchase more masks. They're pretty simple.
I think we think it's a good idea, we just,
Right.
we can't.
I
spend it
guess
without
my
sharing.
biggest question was, when I got that whole pump, replacement pump for the truck, that was like 5,000, a little over. And being as it wasn't budgeted beforehand, they had to take that out of the, our capital improvements, or the one that we roll our truck fund into. I was wondering what that limit is to pull out per item before it has to be pre-budgeted.
Yeah, Roger, we're getting recorded.
Right,
Um,
but
the ultimate answer is it depends. The big thing is Sherry looks at the whole budget,
right,
right? And so then she has a pretty good idea on what's actually sitting there, what's still to be brought in, that kind of thing. And then, yeah, I mean, if, God forbid, something really bad happens and we need a new, like Miles said, he's trying to find like a new engine or something.
right,
But, so we deal with that going forward. Now you're looking at, because I would think somebody, if they wanted to send in, somebody could say, if your masks are not up to date, you can't use it.
well, that's it. We can't, technically, we probably
Yeah.
are
So
limited
we're not-
on
so we're not-
interior.
Yeah, so, Sherry should be in later this week. Hopefully we can get you an answer by next Monday.
Okay. We are still in compliance. We're just real close to being out of compliance.
Yeah, but as soon as you have a mask that's having issues, it's like any mask,
Right.
as soon as you have it.
There again, we've got 12 of them.
Right.
And we've got 4 that we have basically retired. We put them in the corner, we're not using them.
Yeah.
Regulators making mass bad. So we're getting down to the point where we're gonna be short of them.
Yeah,
It's time to do something before we do run into an issue.
if the money's there and you're not looking, pulling it out for something else, and I don't think we see it as being a problem.
No,
Okay.
It's just that, it's Sherry's checkbook,
Right.
so we just have to explain to her, and so if we do, if she says yes, how soon do you want to order these?
I've got, we had him bring them down last Friday, and we looked at it. It'd be Tony out of Big Sky. It's a MSA pack, which he is a certified, he can repair them. Problem with Scott's, there's no dealers, and if you have anything wrong with it, you have to send it to Denver to get it fixed. Basically, the compliance period is 15 years. There's 15 years of warranty on them. If a battery goes bad, if any of the electronics go bad within 15 years, they fix it.
Okay.
The only thing we have to do is test them. And I'm not sure if it's a yearly test that I have to check into,
Okay.
but pretty minimum,
So you'd be looking at ordering them in March?
possibly. March,
But I mean,
April, before the budget year.
Yeah, but I mean
Before-
sooner rather than later.
Right.
Yeah, so hopefully we get you an answer by it's March next week, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got to run it by our meeting. We'll probably have to. With tournaments and everything, we had people that kind of wanted to look at them that weren't able to.
Sure.
So we'll probably have to have him come back with them. It would probably be April before we order. They're, I think, 6 weeks out, possibly,
Yeah.
depending on.
Okay.
And he's going to check and see if they're gonna, because MSA has the promotion with the 2-to-1 tanks. That may not start till April.
Okay.
It's not something that has to be done now, but means we've got a meeting up, we're gonna mention it at the meeting.
Sure.
Want to see, okay, are we gonna have to take the 65,000 out of our slush fund, or can we use some of the county stuff? county budget to do it.
We,
And
we might get you an answer this week, but my guess is by next Monday.
That's fine.
the price wasn't, you said that you were still waiting on the final price.
Right, because we made some changes. And then he was gonna Tony was gonna check into seeing if they could do a bottle promotion with the update of, or upgrade of putting the thermal on each unit. We were thinking doing all the bottles, and we probably couldn't do all 6 of the thermals. We would probably do half of them, but you grab one, you think you got a kernel, you don't. I mean, it'd be nice to have it.
Sure.
We don't have it now, so it's not a big issue. I mean, there's still gonna be by far better.
You can come in, Doug.
We're talking fire department,
So, yeah.
So,
just in case anybody on the fire department.
We are recording, so don't give us any bills.
Okay. Whoops. A bill within,
Staggering, isn't it?
man, we don't know what to
I
do.
would have let you know you can pay it when you feel like it. How about that?
Well, no, we're pleasantly surprised. We did not have to track you down.
We'll try and pay when our check writers get back.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody's here this week, but bills are the 9th of March.
That's fine.
So,
I
okay.
don't care. I paid him, so it's all paid up.
Okay.
My bonding company came back a little higher than I thought, but I left it at the estimate of what it was to begin with. I just don't make as much money. I'll make some, but I want to make as much.
That's the story of your life, isn't it?
Well, thanks for bringing that up.
Just trying to make your day.
We'll see you guys.
Yeah.
well, I just wanted to put a bug in your ear that we're working on it. Like I say, I haven't got a hold of Christine yet. I will, to see if she's heard back from anything. Cause I know she had applied she did hear back from a couple of them. That she put in for like 20,000 but we put in for, I think we had that one at 125,000 for the project.
Sure.
Now, she did put in for a couple bigger ones. I don't know if she has heard back or when they would be let. And like I say, if we kind of keep it down, so we're gonna basically ask the PHS for 10 masks, which would be just under 5,000. Thomas was saying that's kind of their threshold, what they give.
Sure.
It's kind of like the Elks out of a point. If you keep it under 2,500, I put in for 800 there for a couple of handheld thermals to put in the grass rates.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
there's still some options out there. We do have, like I say, we've got quite a bit because we haven't bought anything out of our
Yeah.
donation funds.
Yeah, we don't see it as being a problem. We just, and it's, I mean, ultimately, as long as we get Sherry to buy off on it, then, when you can get to it, you can get to it.
Right.
So,
That was my questions.
cool.
You didn't have to go to Poplar this morning?
I seen that this morning. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what is that. What was it?
Some kind of warehouse, yeah.
Well, they said, I think it's a fab shop, a welding fabrication shop.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing there's probably a lot of acetylene and argon, and I don't know what all they make, but it said a welding fab shop. But yeah,
They've had several
warehouse and-
fires.
huh?
They've had several fires the last,
Yeah, they're always busy up there.
oh, okay.
4 Point Poplar, they have a lot of structure fires.
Hmm.
Probably 2 to 1 structure fires versus anything else. But yeah, I don't know, because it sounded just the thing I seen, it looked like it might have moved into the offices because they pulled everybody back off of it because of the chemicals stored there. So I don't know what all they build,
That's a shame.
but I imagine there's probably a pretty good sized employer for Poplar.
I would think so. I mean, there's,
Like I say, I'm not 100% sure what all they do there. I'm sure it'll, oh, but yeah. Yeah, they called all the surrounding ones, so I'm guessing if Wolf Point would have had something going on, we'd have got a call to assist them in Wolf Point. Or we'll back them up. I mean, if they go somewhere, well, then we'll.
So were they looking just for firemen or were they looking for your pump? Oh,
Capable with
okay.
what they said. Most of the time. In a deal like that, they will, I mean, Wolf Point and Poplar, they have pretty nice equipment. So a lot of times they just need bodies, especially when it's cold and then you can switch them out
Yep,
every
okay.
couple hours. You pull the guys and put them in someplace normal off. Thaw them out, feed them and hydrate them and then they go back.
Put it back, yeah. Okay.
So most generally, it would probably be more personnel than equipment. Just because one, I mean, you start getting pumpers from every town, then your water towers are all dry.
Oh,
Because you put too much tax on it.
okay.
Pretty soon you're out of water. I mean, if we pump both of our trucks hard, we would have about 6 hours of water. That's not accounting it the replenishing, because they go kick the trains on right away, kick the plant on. But yeah, so we could run this empty on a big fire, especially if we brought in another pumper.
Okay. Just
And that's just considering pumping 2,000 gallons a minute, 1,000 on each truck.
It's a lot of water.
Our big truck that we got is a 2,000 gallon a minute. I don't, we'd have to supply it with 2 5-inch hoses, which we have now.
Okay.
But it takes, when they pump test it, it takes everything they have, 2 6-inch lines to make it pump over 2,000. But us and Maelstrom Air Force Base is the only 2,000 gallon pump. Buildings, most of theirs are like our yellow one, they're 1250s. Or 1275s, 1,500 maybe.
Okay.
But you just can't drag enough hoses on.
Sure.
You'd have to run the leash gun and 2.5. Okay, I will, when I hear more from them on prices, when we get them nailed down and we run it by some more guys. We did have 6 of us there.
Oh, good.
Everybody pretty much is in agreement that we need to replace them. I would like to look at a Scott's pack, but I've called around and nobody around is buying them. And it's mainly because there's no dealers and there's no, nobody picks them. Service.
Sure, makes sense.
And if you look at them online, I mean, there's not a lot of differences between.
Sure.
They're very similar. I mean, one's got a couple more bells and whistles on it, but it's stuff that we're not even gonna add to them because it's something we'll never use. The infrared cameras would be nicer, the thermal cameras would be nice on
Yeah,
them.
that makes sense.
Because you get inside, you can just pick it up and if there's the hot spot.
Okay.
Instead of packing another camera, having a third guy.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
This way. I mean, technically, we're supposed to have 3 guys. He's supposed to have the hose guy and the tool guy and the radio guy. Radio guy is gonna have a thermal and a radio. We don't have that many people most of the time,
I get it.
but
I do.
and the state is actually lax that it's, I mean, Village goes in with 3. Mile City, everybody else is going with 2.
Sure.
They're training with a 2-man team. You have a hose man and a 2-man. And this, the biggest plus I can see is right now, we guess it would be in structure, we have absolutely no communication with them.
Yeah, that is scary.
Until they show their
Right.
shining eyes, then we don't know if they're good, bad, or other. This way, we can't have radio
Well, good.
communication with them. I mean, the last one exterior, but it's getting, we need these guys to be on air. Just kind of require just when you talk, so it's that there,
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm good with that.
so. Okay. I was gonna go out to your house,
Oh, today?
yeah,
Okay,
right now, there's. Nancy's probably downstairs, so
she is.
Okay.
Yeah, she might be able to go with you though.
it don't matter, you don't care, I don't care.
No, the gray dog will bark at you and just tell it to quit. So,
Okay,
but you know where it is, right?
it's by the furnace, isn't it, or is it? gonna
Yeah,
be-
same room as the furnace. It's just, the door should be open on it, because once we noticed it was leaking a little bit, then we're like, maybe we should look at that. So, I mean, and it's just, you know,
It's probably got an element that burnt out and it burnt the gasket out of it, so.
oh, okay.
Or it blew a hole in it, when it shorts out, it'll
Oh,
leak
I
out
gotcha.
the screw hole
Yeah, and we didn't realize it was so old. It's like 7 years old. So,
already.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Lies on everything.
something like that. But yeah, you could pop down then. I mean,
Okay. Yeah, is your other deals that
2:00. We're still recording, Roger. Okay,
I might have to come back and just.
well, it'd be, you know, it's open to everybody, so, yeah,
I see I go to that steer, which is good. Did I see?
for the land?
Yeah.
No, because you guys are. I mean, I haven't looked at the map, but you guys are over here and this is more over here. The big, well, if you have time to come, it'd be great, just because type 1, like, because you own more than 40 acres, I think. I guess I've never looked at the map, but if you own 40 acres and if you wanna see every building you own has to be painted purple, you can do type 1 and you can do that. Every building on your place be painted purple, you know, it doesn't impact your neighbors, whatever, or, you know, if you want towers that are 1,000 foot tall, you can do that. If you don't want any, whatever you want, you know, that it's because it's citizen initiated.
So basically, but how about the setbacks?
It's your land, you would be setting it. That's the thing. Because the type 1, like, if you have 2 neighbors and they mailed you to theirs, then they could say, here it is, because it's only takes 60%, then you'd be outvoted.
Right,
So,
so if they are in zone 1 and I am not, do I have to go by their setbacks?
no, you're either in or you're out. The map, there's the map. So, because at some point, yeah, you do need glasses. At some point, you know, the type 1 stops. You know, it's whatever shape. It's kind of a big blob. But yeah, if you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're out. So yeah, if you're out and if you want to do that, then you could do your own and go in. But at some point they have to call it and say, okay, here's where we have, but it only impacts those that are in it. So, and then you look at some counties have like 40 or more type 1 zoning areas. Like all these little ranchettes that people have, they're just 40 acres. You know, they have enough land for 1 horse and 3 dogs.
Right,
They've got their own type 1 zone. So, which is what Macomb County can go to, because some people have different ideas and everything else. And then, you know, if you wanted, now the downside to type 1 is if the county goes to type 2 would trump what all the type 1s say. So that's the harsh part about it. You know, whatever you want.
so if you were inside of this area and didn't want it, with all your neighbors all the way around you, then you're liable,
You're stuck with what they're going with. Yeah, it's about 80% of the people in it. And you know, you take out the BLM because you can't say what they can do one way or the other. But of the actual landowners, about 80% have said, we want this type of zone. And then there's, you either signed or you didn't sign. So the ones that didn't sign, whether they approve of whatever, they're basically saying, no, I don't want it. So it's about 84 and 20 against ballpark. We don't have we can't vote on it today because we don't have the number finalized. But 60% is the only requirement. It's 60%. So that's what I'm saying. If you have two neighbors, there's three of you, those two vote, then if they've connected you to their type 1, then you're SLM.
I thought, yeah,
Well, and I think if they just kept working on this, I think they would have kept, doing like a checkerboard pattern, but you can't connect to the corners. You have to be face to face. So,
because everything across the road is on it. The road is actually the break of the township.
Okay.
Because I was thinking. This.
that map is the Bible of what's in and what's out. So, and then there's a process, because then you have to, the clerk recorder's got to pull the deeds and make sure that, if it's Roger Share land that you signed for it, as opposed to if you and Margaret are fighting and Margaret says, well, I'm in and it's Roger Share land, it's like, well, it doesn't make Roger Share land, or same thing, it's Margaret Share land, then she's got to sign. So they just need to check that kind of stuff. And most of it's pretty clear, but sometimes like if it's, like if the family's not here, some of the family stuff, you gotta find out who the executor is or whatever.
Well, I kind of read. I don't know, it seems like there's a few misconceptions because. Just the fire response, there basically is. They are self-reliant, basically, they are. So, I think there's misconceptions on both sides.
Oh, there is, and it'll be interesting upstairs, because we've got at least some folks coming from out of the county. And I mean, everybody's, we're gonna respect everybody's viewpoint, but the way Montana Code Annotated is written is type 1 is the only one that gets a vote. So if you're in there, you get a vote. If you're out of there, in effect, you don't get a vote. So, if you come in, same thing, you want to paint your buildings purple, we will listen to you, but that does not impact the type 1 if you don't have land in there. So we'll see how it goes, and there's definitely some outside concerns. So
So
we'll see.
who actually polices what happens in that area?
They're gonna have an actual board. And we've got the paperwork someplace, but I gave up working on that because I've been trying to finalize the other ones. And we can't finalize the vote today because we have to have, the clerk recorder herself has to certify it. So she is not certified yet. So what today's gonna be is all public comments, everybody's in, and we've got two resolutions, one to deny, one to accept, and it has the, regulations, appropriate regulations, comments were for anything from, all the complaints you've heard, sounds, turbine heights, decommissioning. So all that stuff, we've heard before. We we've gotten some more comments. So we'll feel everything out, and we wanted to vote on it today, but until Sherry certifies it, then we can't. So we'll have to, I think we'll table it, the decision. We'll get all the comments. Table the decision and plan to do it next Monday. And I think at this point, we're just gonna, if it's not today, we're gonna put it next Monday. And do this every Monday until we do vote on it. There are stipulations for doing type 1. It should have been completed by December. It should have been completed. So now the ones with the type 1 they're bringing forward, they're not happy with the pace
So will a type 2 zoning be more stringent than a type 1?
Well, maybe not more stringent, but like,
Different rules.
like you, if you did type 1, you want to paint your buildings purple. The type 2 could come in and say, purple's not a good color, you gotta paint them red. So it would, type 2 would trump what you put. So that would be the, you could go all through the work for your type 1 and then type 2, but see the type 2, that's countywide, and the commissioners vote on it one way or the other. And we vote on the type 1 as well, but like on type 2, we literally can have one person come forward and say, you know what, for type 2, I want every building white, and if the commissioners agree, every building has to be white. Whether, 99% of everybody saying, no, I don't like that, if the commissioners decide on type 2, and then on type 1, the sticking point is, I think it's actually 61%, but about 60% of the owners have self-imposed that. And that according to Montana code, that's the sticking point. So it's different. But yeah, type 2, what they're working on, condominiums, I mean, if you can think it's big. It's like being big city. So condominiums, heights, setbacks, view sheds. I say condominiums because I know that's in there, and I don't know what else is in there, but it's probably multifamily structures, all that stuff. But those meetings, you're welcome to attend those too. They're not as gonna be as interesting. This afternoon's gonna be interesting. The other one, not as interesting.
Might be a bug in the corner.
Yeah.
Like I say, basically just because I went to their fire response plan.
Yeah.
So if something like that comes up, tell them what they told me. Hey.
Yep, yeah, the only thing we're not doing,
Right, Tom.
we're not gonna like, if somebody's up there and talking, we're not gonna trigger into a debate.
Right.
So, whoever gets up there, they can speak their piece, they sit down, somebody else wants to rebut that, that's fine, they can come out. Cause Prairie County, there was a lot of crosstalk and a lot of people getting mad, so if we can kind of keep them together, if you wanna come up 3 times, then come up 3 times.
It's not a question and answer.
Yeah, we don't wanna,
Right.
because we wanna keep it as relatively calm as possible. We'll see. I mean, it might be smooth sailing. It might be.
I was good. Skip out today.
Oh, no. No, he knew we'd be coming for him.
Trying to get to Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, so maybe we'll see you. Thanks. He was in, he's got, their masks are outdated by like 5 years, and they're starting to have some issues with the rubber and stuff. Oh, yeah, she did. She made coffee special for them. It's probably a little bit stout.
Say, what was that again?
So his
Mask.
masks and everything. So he's thinking, probably talking like 70 grand, but he wants to pull 30 to 40 grand out of the budget.
They got like 40 grand in their donations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and then he's trying to get CHS, and he's working on grants from other folks. So we'll check with Sherry. She might be in Thursday, maybe Friday. And he doesn't need the money right away. He just needs to know whether or not he can pull it. So that's what he was coming up, because the last 2 Mondays, he wasn't able to sneak in. So. Yeah.
We were going through the agenda
Oh, yeah.
before Roger come in.
All right.
We were on the fairgrounds, I think. They had a meeting Tuesday night when I was gone, but
Oh, they did.
so I haven't had any contact.
Well, but you said Tandy got the email saying that the bids were a lot more than what they were expecting.
Right.
That was one thing. At the Mako conference, there's you probably know the guys. It's a guy out of Sydney, and he's been doing prefab concrete. Started as a one-man show in like 2014. He's doing a whole bunch of pads. He's up to like 30 guys, and they weld a frame and they pour the concrete. Their concrete's set in like 8 hours enough to move it. They've got trucks. It's pretty impressive. And then he just built a barn dominium for one of the guys that works there, which is really cool. And he says cheaper than a steel building. But I didn't bring his part in, and his son was there. And so he was interested for the fairgrounds of maybe, maybe a cement building or concrete building would be cheaper than a steel building.
Oh, yeah.
Cause they'll put windows wherever you want it, doors wherever you want it, and then it just comes in a big slab. And he said the insulation's already better. He quoted the number, but I didn't write it down. I spent too much time going, really? I mean, your concrete's ready in 8 hours? You just all these things, and it's an impressive operation. They're linked in with the high school because the guy that welds at the high school sends them his best kids, that kind of thing. They're working 410s. They can color it. Like if you want, I think he went through like 5 or 6 different colors,
Wow.
different colors, and so
They just gotta know like where your doors and windows and go. I wonder what they do for wiring if they have a.
I think they do conduit everywhere. So like
Those foam ones. They came with holes thrown for, for your wiring, for your outlets and switches and stuff.
I believe that was all part of the deal. You can set where but I think that's the trick. Like you need to say, once it's done, you can't then come in and say, well, move this over here. I think you need to have at least a relatively good rough drawing that says this is where all this stuff is. So, and he's like, without getting like some kind of plan, you can't say what it would cost. He just said in general, it's cheaper, and then you don't have to insulate it like you do a steel building. So, and this barn dominium they built, it's near to wherever their facility is. But he said if you wanted, you could park your hay truck in the hayloft. That's how strong it is. And
I mentioned that a little bit to Tandy the other day. She had called
Okay.
when we were up there, and that you had talked to these.
Oh, okay,
about it. And she says, well, maybe we can I can come up Monday. And I says, not this next Monday. We'll wait a week.
yeah, I put Carrie Phillips off too. I was like, you don't have to come up Monday, I'm pretty sure. So, all right, so we'll just see. Oh, we covered the stockyard fees. We're gonna table it because Lonnie's got. He's got what was down there.
Yeah,
was the yard fee.
We didn't, there's yards only fees and stuff, and we didn't address any of that.
Okay.
So we'll just take a look at it.
All right.
Okay, so Circle Insurance. Trust.
So Ellen came in this morning and discovered that the printer wasn't
Oh, yeah.
working, and no big deal. There's 2 cartridges right here. Those were used cartridges. So,
And on Friday, I had a conversation with Carrie Eisinger. Oh, no, it'll start getting, thin or light before it quits. Printed 1 piece of paper and that's it. So if you gotta print something, you gotta email it to Candace. And then she'll print it out. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
and I went to turn this on and and it wouldn't go. There was nothing. It acted like your computer. Not today. And finally it did.
So hopefully your morning went better than what our.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, Circle Insurance, which is the Circle Insurance one?
Tandy. If you're chatting about the BUDS, BUDS, well, then she must mean buildings.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know which one's the Circle Insurance one. Oh, billing and stuff. Oh, well. There's a thing for the property cat. That must be what it is.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Okay. So. I guess Yeah, let's just do that. Can I get a motion to approve the circle insurance?
I'll make a motion to approve the circle insurance.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Yeah,
Aye.
None, motion passes. Okay, and then there's two public health ones.
transportation of specimens planned for public health independent contractor for pathways.
And I got one of the things where you gotta sign online, so I think I signed it. So I don't know. And Terry won't be in all week, I'm pretty sure. And Sherry might be in Thursday or Friday.
I guess, if you want. I think just Ellen has to sign it, is all.
Oh, good, I was gonna say, I don't,
Yeah.
no, that's gonna-
This is some kind of bill. Oh, yeah, MasterCard. MasterCard always has to get sent. So this one will need stamps for
Okay.
today. Oh, that's just all the things. So the top one needs signed and then the second one needs stamped. I guess with the both of them pursue. Let's do a motion on them just in case. So the transport specimens, I have a motion to approve that one.
I do so move.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Motion passes. And then approve the public health independent contractor.
I'll, so move.
Second.
Say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Okay. That part's good. Void report, I guess we sent some money to the wrong person, so that's just it. Like, oh, Department of Transportation. Do we want to bet on what it is?
Notification of a meeting.
Oh, good morning. I'm gonna say gravel pit. Oh, dang it. Annual meeting, Glendive, March 18th. Show off. So I think that's it. Do you think you got it figured out how we can record this afternoon so it doesn't record over?
So I'm thinking. Gives you a leave option.
Okay.
And it gives you two options, leave or end meeting. I think I can hit leave, move everything up there. And then rejoin the meeting.
Okay. It's worth a try, yeah. It's better than recording over all the time, so.
Yeah. And I'm sure if we disconnect everything to get it up there, it's gonna leave anyway.
Yeah,
Roger's coming, so I'm going out there. So I'll text you if you want something.
yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks. Our hot water heater is leaking. I didn't think it was. And then, Nancy's like, have you noticed the shower's not hot? No, it's fine. No, it's not hot. No, it's fine. Sure enough, it's not hot enough for her, so. Roger's thinking one of the elements is out and it's leaking a little bit, so. Of course, can't be when it's 50 degrees, gotta be freaking 1 degree. So I did I added some stuff to the resolutions. Oh, I didn't print it off because Candace is gonna have to print it off. So all I'm doing is including the stuff or some of the stuff from the reading file. So we've gotten multiple, oh, here, I'm just gonna go to. Here's the comments that have come in so far. I know, I think I wrote other thing backwards. So I'm gonna cover them. And I know which ones came from, well, from local landowners or were influenced by somebody from outside the area looking for information. So. If nobody else has sent comments by now, they're just gonna have to show up. Oops. Any other ones? Nope. So what I'm picturing is having one folder of those comments so people can read them as they want, and the map. Because here is the map. So evidently had been misplaced, but it's been relocated. So
I knew I seen it, but I didn't know what happened to it after I looked at it.
trust me, if we do type 1 again, I have a lot of ideas on how this is gonna be smoother. So the biggest thing is gonna be before we accept it, there's gonna be a process for accepting it. It's gonna be a matter of sitting down with a map, a person and the map, and a by name list of saying, here it is on the map, here it is on the list. And that list is gonna have their name and address and some kind of contact information, at least a mailing address. Can't believe I lost betting on Indian City. You're gonna try and go to this ceremony, March 18th.
Yeah.
Jim Mose wants us to ask about 5/28 maybe. As it gets closer, like
That's March 18th.
March, March 18th, I believe. That's probably the track season. It's coming up. That was not on my agenda.
I was talking to my Forsyth grandchildren last night and they're starting AAU volleyball. I mean, there's just no break.
There's not, no, for kids sports, there's not. Well, so Kate Naisner, during track, she was doing travel basketball and travel volleyball. So, and then like going to tournaments. They'd take off like as soon as track was done and they'd do a tournament on the Sunday. And not like in Glendive. Like they went to Minot one time and I think they went to Havre maybe. So yeah, between basketball and volleyball. And then I was on top of her doing track, so. And I thought my kids were busy with sports. My kids never did that much. I'm gonna put Doug's bill. Well, I should just put it in the folder probably. Cause they're gonna have to look through there anyway. And then I don't know when, we probably should just turn in our timesheets today.
And I think I've got mine
Is,
ready to go.
Just where did Tori get her numbers?
I don't know. I only talked to her. She called up. She's like, do you have time? Yeah, what's up? She was just asked to submit a letter about,
I think those are the initial numbers that, they proposed since the start of the Glendive wind deal. I think it's like 83 million for the project and 24 million for Macomb County, and I think that's the numbers they've been using.
when we're upstairs, folks have to realize we're not fact checking, we're not spell checking them. It's just,
No, I know that.
here's what they're putting, right, but people are gonna,
Yeah,
they're gonna want to question it. And it's like, it's all well and good. And again, it comes back to, I appreciate what Tori does, but she doesn't own land in that area.
no, and then she says that right
Yeah.
up front.
So, but she
But
got a
it,
phone call that said,
yeah,
well,
if I can see if them numbers are right, that is kind of in like for the school, $7.9 million for the school. That's a lot of money. But.
Yeah.
When do they get it? Drawn out over 10 years?
no, life of the project is 30.
30, oh, fuck. Then that ain't no good.
And again, it's like when we first started talking about things, nice to have money. Yes,
Yeah,
nice to have money. But when the Keystone was gonna give the county, at one point, they said between 7 and 8 million per year. I mean, 7 or 8 million per year for this county. We could get a new road grader every couple of years. I mean,
oh, I know.
that,
We did learn at the Mako conference, there is a pipeline going through, but it ain't
Yeah.
coming through
Yeah,
here.
I knew it was.
It's just basically following the existing one, and it's going along, the North Dakota border and then across the top part of the state. But
Yeah, 'cause North Dakota ain't gonna fight it. And they don't care if they get,
now in Ecolaka, they're just getting more.
Weevil County, they said theirs was, what they get is now is substantial, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
What is it, a 36-inch pipe, is it? I
think so. Yeah, I mean, it's just,
But I think Bridger was the name of that.
yeah, you're right.
Staley took us to a little tin building on, I don't know what part of town we were in. I couldn't see from the back seat, but
It's across from the Catholic high school,
and
like downtown across from the Catholic high school.
and it's converted into a little, they smoke meat and stuff there. It does not really restaurant style, but they had smoked turkey, well, like the best turkey I ever had, and then smoked brisket and jalapeno mac and cheese. I was a little hesitant, but it was good.
Yeah, it wasn't hot. It was
Yeah.
just a little bit. And green beans,
I heard they tasted like dirt.
they did. They say it's like dirt. Good thing Lonnie didn't eat them because, man, those are the worst green beans I ever had in my whole life, man.
I was on a diet where I couldn't eat.
no,
That they had me on. I couldn't eat any fiber, anything with skin on it. So he had to make sure I knew how they tasted like.
I
dirt.
tried, it's like I used to do with my kids. Oh, you don't want to eat this. It tastes like dirt. So,
well, we didn't know if we were gonna make it down there. We flew into,
Or should we? Are we
Yeah.
through the meeting?
yeah,
I think I'll just put it on leave. Go on. This arrow is shakier than me.